me dearios. It's David McGillivray here on an absolutely sweltering summer afternoon in London. And I'm getting sweaty not just because of the weather, but because I'm so excited about my guest. She is British, but she's been in Australia since 2009, and she's been an Australian citizen since 2014, but she's back. She's back right here. Look at this. It's the Phoenix Arts Club in London's Charing Cross Road, and she's appearing here tonight. Oh, how exciting is it to be able to say hello again to the very glamorous, it's Dolly Diamond.
Oh, it is. Hello there. Hello, everybody. This is lovely, isn't it?
Isn't this cozy?
I like it.
Oh, what am I to call you? Dolly or Miss Diamond?
I've known you a long while. I think I'm definitely all right with Dolly. I didn't realise I would match at the banquet, which is all right, isn't it?
Oh, it's as though it had been planned. Well, if the tales about you cavorting with members of the royal family are to be believed,
Yeah.
It's only a matter of time before it'll be a case of Your Royal Highness.
You never know, and I am willing to kneel to be knighted. I am. But it is lovely to be back in London. That's what's lovely. And the weather, though, I know
Isn't
you mentioned it in your
gorgeous?
introduction. Oh, I love the warm weather.
Well, what brings you to London then from the warmth of Down Under?
Well, at the moment it's not all overly warm in Melbourne because it's winter, but I know what British weather is like. It will get a little nippy before you know it, and I love living over there. Love. But at the moment it is not the place that I want to be. I mean, it is a little that they're wearing masks. It's locked in. There's not a lot of work. And I was always going to be doing a year over in London again, and this just brought it on a little quicker.
You're here for a year.
At least, I reckon, a year. Yes.
We're going to talk about Australia later in the show, but let's talk now about the UK. You're staying in Brighton with Rose Garden. How is the silly old how is Rose?
Well, look, we've been mates for many years, and we know each other. And you know what it's like when you live with someone that when you know them really well, you know when to interact with them or when to leave them the hell alone. And I love that. We haven't been able to meet up for a while, and it's been wonderful. I've just moved out though because of doing the gig, and I'm on my way to Islington. I'll be living in Islington.
That's in North London, near where I used to live. Now, I know that you've been doing a tour of Brighton. You've taken in the fabulous Royal Pavilion.
It's gorgeous, isn't it?
Isn't it wonderful?
Yes.
And did you experience a mod weekender?
Yes.
What was that like?
Well, I mean, I think that I love the fashions. They look fabulous, the boys and the girls. And
Of course, you wouldn't remember them.
Well, I mean, I don't. But obviously, I wasn't there for the war, but I know of it. And you can see they just look incredible. The noise, though, of all the scooters, the Vespas or whatever they are. Yes, probably not a Vespa.
Could well have been either a Vespa or a Lambretta.
Oh yes, probably. They looked and they were lovely. They looked like they had a lovely weekend.
Good. Glad to hear it.
Yes.
You're now in Soho. Did you also experience the Soho Fete?
I did. I don't remember ever doing that, and it's in its
Been
46th year.
True.
It was fabulous. It's really old school, the tombola and the tug of war, and just some wonderful atmosphere. And imagine arriving, and locked in Melbourne, which, as I mentioned, was a little bit miserable, and arriving in Soho and getting that, it was exactly what I needed.
How has London changed, Dolly, since you were here last?
Well, I think London's only briefly been let out, hasn't it, really? Not that long. I think what is different is there's a lot more, it feels like there's new buildings. A lot more new buildings. I don't know if it needed any more, but it's such a beautiful city, London. For me, I always count myself as British, even though I am an Australian citizen. I've got a British passport, but I'll always be British. It's where I was born. But I don't know if it's that different at the moment. It doesn't feel that different. And isn't London is always different when it's when the sun is out? It is a rarity, isn't it?
It's rare. It's something like 28 degrees today, which for September is absolutely extraordinary. Now, Dolly, the world has, of course, changed, not just London and the UK. So tell us, how has lockdown been for you in Melbourne?
Well, it was a bit of a nightmare, and I mentioned that we've just, we're in lockdown at the moment, but we've already been in that one, similar to what you had over here. So to be doing it again, when you get that bite of freedom, to be doing it again is not easy. I was very lucky and got given a grant by the government and managed to live stream from where I lived, which was really, really good, to get money to do that, to buy cameras and lights, and I obviously don't know how to operate anything.
So you had to get men in?
Yes, which is always good, and that made it work. We were allowed after an hour of exercise a day, which isn't long enough, so I didn't bother. And I think I worked out how to, I wore a Fitbit where I lived, and I worked out I could get all of my steps up by just going to the fridge and back to the sofa. Yes.
How long did you have to put up with that?
Well, long enough till the fridge was empty, because I ate a lot. I've managed to lose a lot of fat. Yes. But not all, as a woman, I like to be slim, but I'm looking all right.
I'd use the word buxom.
Well, always have been, always will be. They are big bones underneath all of this, like a whale bone.
Dolly, we mentioned earlier that you are now an Australian citizen.
Yes.
I want to know what that involved. Did you have to answer questions and sing Waltzing Matilda?
You definitely need to answer questions, and I'm absolutely rubbish when it comes to tests and all of that. I hate it.
Even at school?
Yes, I was always rubbish at that. And I remember writing the answers on the back of a ruler one time, which I believe they call cheating.
It's called cheating.
Yes.
I did it myself.
I was all right with it. And then when I'd written everything I could, I took in a Jackie Collins novel and sat there reading that. And that's at high school. So, I was flamboyant even then. Bloody good book as well. Lovers and Gamblers, I think it is. If you haven't read it, read it. Yes, we didn't sing Waltzing Matilda, but we did sing Advance Australia Fair, which is their national anthem, and everybody argues over there that it should be
Waltzing Matilda.
Yes.
So for now, it's this other song that we don't know. Can you sing the first line?
Australians, all let us rejoice. And it's all right.
Did you give it a performance?
Oh, yes, of course.
Yes? Can you remember one of the questions you were asked about Australia?
Oh, yes, and I won't know the answer even now.
Okay.
It would be, what is it, you've got the lower house, the upper house, and all of those, I'd always lived in a bungalow, so I didn't know the answer to that. But it's, I think I used what was up there, and I went in relatively sober.
That helps.
So I was all right. I got some good answers, and they said yes.
And the main thing is, you got what do you get? A certificate?
Yes.
A badge?
Yes, you get a certificate and you get a shrub.
Oh no.
Yes. Now
An Australian shrub?
Yes, a bit of bush. I didn't have a garden, but I do frequent a fabulous gay bar in Collingwood called The Laird. And I said to the boys at The Laird, would you plant this in your garden? And they jumped at the chance, and I believe it's thriving now.
It's a sort of Dolly Diamond shrine.
Yes,
Oh,
well,
how
I know
wonderful.
that a lot of the boys there are in those bushes,
bet.
giving it the love that it needs and deserves.
Oh, how wonderful.
Yes.
Dolly, tell us, why did we lose you to Australia in 2009?
I met a man. Yes.
Can you tell all?
Yes.
Go on.
Well, I met a man, and I'd go there every year, and I loved going there because of the weather and the work, and it was just different. I liked, we all like a bit of different. And I met a man, and well, we were in love. It was wonderful. We were together for 7 years. A lot of those are happy times, not all. And but even. Oh, I wondered what you were doing.
I wondered if there was an engagement ring.
No, because we broke up.
Oh, no.
I know. But even after when we broke up, I couldn't work out why I wasn't happy, and I realized it's because he's still alive.
Oh. As simple as that.
Yes.
You decided to just stay on in Australia because by that time, I suppose you were having quite a bit of fun.
I was, and I absolutely love it. If you ever get the chance to go when we're all, open again, yeah. And it is definitely, because it's a bloody long way, how long that journey is.
Telling me it can be 24 hours.
Yes.
Oh, but it's worth it.
It is. I think if you got the option to do a little stopover,
we do.
Yes, it's always a good idea, isn't it?
Hong Kong, I remember.
Yes, that's always a good idea. A few days there, it's always worth it.
Now, since you've been there, you've done all manner of things, and I believe that you're an ambassador for several charities.
Yes. Now, I've been in London, in England a couple of weeks. Nothing. I've been offered nothing yet. So I'm a little disappointed.
I bet.
But hopefully it's all on the way. I'm an ambassador for the guide dogs. And it's just absolutely wonderful work that they do. And really, generally as an ambassador, they wheel you out and ask you to spruik whatever it is. So I'm there at various events. They provide dogs for people with low vision and blindness. And you really get to see the work that they do, and that's why I love guide dogs. And Movember, which is it's an international charity.
We've got that here as well.
Now
yes.
I get asked, do I have to grow a moustache?
Yes.
I don't. I'm a Mo sister. And yet again, it's all about encouraging the boys to grow a moustache and raise money and raise awareness. My dad sadly passed away with prostate cancer, which means we've all got to be aware of our bodies as we get older. Ignoring it is absolute rubbish. And you've got to go and get it checked. I always want to know if there's anything wrong, and obviously over the years there's been a lot wrong. I'm not right, but go get it checked, because ignoring it, it's just ridiculous.
Wise words,
It is,
Dolly.
isn't it?
And I'm delighted to hear about all your good works.
Well, I love working. I am very good at holding my hand out for the handbag. I like the money. We all like money. It's a necessary evil, isn't it? But I always think you've got to give back. And I think the key for me is find something you're passionate about. I love both of those. If I don't drive, I've got no interest in cars. So if there was something to do with that, I wouldn't like it. I don't like, there's so many things that I'm not keen on. Get something you like, and it's a lot easier.
You've also been promoting in the past marriage equality, haven't
Well,
you?
yes, 'cause
Very
they were-
important in Australia.
They were so slow over there.
What was going on?
Well, yeah, I think a lot of people around the world imagined that Australia had already done that, had already achieved that. But no, it was very, very slow. We've got a Liberal government. But mind you, the Labor government prior to that didn't get it in either. But the Liberals were not behind it. We had to have a bloody postal vote, which just feels wrong. Asking everybody, to decide on such an important issue.
But the vote was...
Yeah. Well, it obviously went to yes. They said yes to marriage equality.
No surprise.
No, well,
Or
you never
was
know.
it?
You never ever know when you ask a public that you believe is going to do what we consider to be the right thing. You never know, and yes, now of course. Well, it was all those naysayers that you're going to get when a man and a man would marry, or two women marry, or whatever it is, that the world's going to end. All that doom and gloom. It's all just nonsense.
We had it here.
Yes.
We had it here, but after the law was passed, everybody accepted it.
Yes, I mean, the change for some people is very, very difficult, and I have absolutely no intention. I love going to gay weddings, absolutely adore it, but it doesn't matter whether you specifically, as we know, want to get married. It's about the right to be able to do something.
Is there any chance you'll be getting married, Dolly?
No, I don't imagine it. I'm not even dating anyone.
Oh, you know what?
No, I would marry for money, but it'd have to be a lot.
Anything could happen now you're back in London.
Exactly. Well, if you're watching this,
We haven't been out and about much lately, and
No.
now Dolly's in town.
Yeah.
She's here tonight, and she's coming back to the Phoenix Arts Club. We're going to come back to that in a minute.
Yeah.
You're also, you have been, the artistic director of the Melbourne Comedy Festival.
Melbourne Cabaret Festival.
beg
No.
its
All good. I
pardon.
do the Melbourne Comedy Festival, but my wheelhouse, if you like, is in the cabaret world. And yes, a couple of years I did that, and it's just it wasn't all me. There's a little artistic team, but just nice to be able to curate something like that.
What did the work involve?
Really just getting in acts that you believe are good, but also acts that are capable of drawing in an audience. It's, as we know, it's all very well to be great at what you're doing, but we need that audience. Otherwise, it doesn't exist. The festival doesn't exist next year.
I can see why you love Melbourne, Dolly, because I've been there on a couple of occasions, and I've said this before, in fact, that during that festival, Melbourne, by the river there, it reminds me of London's South Bank.
Yes.
So
And
I felt at home.
yes, I get that. And I think whenever there's a festival on, it all comes alive, doesn't it?
Oh, so exciting.
Adelaide, I absolutely, I don't choose to live in Adelaide all year round, but you get a festival on in Adelaide, and my word, that city is absolutely pumping.
Yes, we've done that as well.
Yes.
Have you ever been in a Pride March, Dolly?
Yes.
Oh, tell
yeah.
us.
I think it was 2019. I did the Sydney Mardi Gras, which was wonderful.
That's one of the world's biggest, isn't it?
It is, yes, and it was. Well, they didn't know whether it would be on or not, but it did go ahead, and it was one of the last, well, certainly the largest event that went on in Australia before everything, the nonsense.
Yes.
And
it
was wonderful.
Were you on a float?
Well, I was, yes.
On your own?
I was. Well, no, actually, I was with a giant dog. Because it was with the guide dogs.
Of course.
And it was wonderful marching with some people with low vision and blindness. And of course you can imagine they're experiencing it often just by listening to that crowd. And when you go, I mean, there's noise all night, but with something like guide dogs, that crowd just comes alive. Because they want everybody that's in it to experience it, and it was magical.
Oh, I'd love to experience
It
that,
was
Dolly.
wonderful.
Do you know, in part 2 of the show, I'd like to talk about some of your famous friends. There are a lot of them. We may not be able to get through all of them, but would you be?
I'm revealing all.
Oh, will you reveal all about your famous friends?
Yes.
In that case, will you join us again for part 2 of the show? We're going to take a break now, and we're going to look at a trailer for a peccadillo release. It's called A Moment in the Reeds, and it's a tragic love story from Finland. Have a look at this and then join us again in a couple of minutes.
Mites siellä Pariisissa?
Kyllä mä oon siellä ihan viihtynyt. No mitäs se sun remontti? Mikäs se oli se remonttimies, josta sä puhuit?
People here are really not used to strangers.
So the rest of your family is in Syria?
Oh yeah, all of them.
I can't even imagine how hard it must have been.
You feel unwanted, you feel you're pushed away.
I'm happy that you are here.
I always felt that it's not fair. That if I just go to other places, I can be accepted and respected. I can be just myself.
I know the feeling. I was so focused on running away. I never thought this would happen here.
It's funny how it's so different here. I feel so free.
Mederios, that was A Moment in the Reeds, and that's from Finland. I saw that at the London Film Festival in 2017. It's now on peccadillopod.com, and you may have noticed that it's not dissimilar to that marvellous film God's Own Country. If you liked that, I'm sure you'll like A Moment in the Reeds. It's David McGillivray here. I'm here in the Phoenix Arts Club with, there she is, Dolly Diamond. Dolly.
Yes.
You live quite well in Australia, or that's the impression I get from what you post on social media.
Oh, it's easy to do that, though, isn't it? It's easy to make it look like your life's a bowl of cherries.
Yes, but
Mine is.
you've been to some lovely places. Can I just quote one? You went there just before you left Australia, and it's called the Turtle Cove Beach Resort.
Oh, it's absolutely, yeah, that's absolutely gorgeous. There's Australia, a big old country, and depending where you were, there was various lockdowns. Now, I left Melbourne knowing that there was going to be a lockdown on the Friday. I left on the Wednesday, and then I was there at Turtle Cove. It's absolutely gorgeous. You open the door of your cabin, there's the beach and the sand and the trees and the beautiful weather in far north Queensland, and absolutely gorgeous. I ended up being there for 3 weeks.
Oh no.
Which was just amazing.
It looks like a paradise.
It is, isn't it? It's absolutely what you would describe as paradise. I had a little visit from some other well-known cabaret artists that had managed to escape.
Yes.
The lovely Trevor Ashley, who was over in London doing Liza on an E, and Reuben Kay was there as well. Another fabulous cabaret artist. So it was amazing.
And you were there for 3 weeks, so a lot of this time must have been spent, what?
On my ass.
On
my
the
ass.
beach.
Yes. There's nothing else to do. It's not near anything else. There are no shops.
Oh.
The one great thing about that is, yes, you can do the booze, but when you're there that long, I didn't drink all that much, and there's no snacking. You know, that's always my downfall. I'm up to that fridge, as I mentioned, and I love a snack, but I didn't do any of that. So it was all right.
Oh, what bliss.
Yes.
Now, I believe you also occasionally appear with something called the Jack Earle Big Band. Now, that reference, Big Band, is that a reference to their endowments?
It is. You should see the trumpet players. No, it is. I've over the years we've worked with everything, haven't we? With backing tracks, a bit of string and a coconut. But obviously, when you get to work with a big band, it is fabulous. And Jack Earle, you get the larger band or the smaller one, and either way, what a musician, you know. It's absolutely amazing.
How many men can you find yourself playing with?
Well, I've done a lot, and the good ones are the ones with the very quick fingering. They're my favourite.
I bet. Oh, what a sensation that must be.
Love it.
Must be a lovely feeling.
I love it.
Let's talk about a relatively expensive show that you do, Dolly. It's a revival of a British TV show, tremendously popular in its day, called Blankety Blank. Now, you've done it in Australia. I've seen you do it here as well,
Yeah,
in
which is
London.
in London and in Edinburgh for the festival. I don't know if it actually began in England or
Maybe
it
so.
began in Australia,
Maybe.
because they've got Blankety Blanks with an S on the end. I know the difference. Well, the S is the difference. And I love doing it because I love that improvisation. You never know what answer you're going to get, and it's what you're able to do with that, isn't it? You know, you always get the contestants. They always, they invariably say something a little bit stupid. And you know, and they're my favourite, obviously. You know, you want them a little dumb, and it's just, I love it. You know, because you can get celebrities on
Rose Garden.
or Rose Garden,
Or Rose
yes.
Garden, yeah.
But I love doing that. It's absolutely brilliant.
Did you
I'd
bring...
love to do it at Christmas.
It would be lovely
Yes,
for Yuletide. Did you bring that set with you from Australia?
I did.
You didn't.
I did.
But
Well,
we're talking about, you know, there's 6 panellists, so
Yes.
they all have to sit. You know, remember the Blankety Blank set. And did that come in your hand luggage?
Well, no. Well, I had it sent over by mail because they go over these tables, and so I definitely want to do it. And you know, you can mix it up. I mean, I'd love to get some Dave Lynn. I'd love to get some comedians on, and just I think it's just a fun game, isn't it?
We had a fun night, Dolly.
It's great.
Now tell us about your farewell performance. It wasn't that long ago. It was on August the 26th, and you played the Brunswick Ballroom.
Yes.
Was it emotional?
Well, it was emotional because we got them on sale. We did the 25th and 26th,
Awful.
but we couldn't do them, David. We couldn't do them.
What?
They were
Cancelled?
Yes.
Oh no.
I think everybody knowing I was leaving, they were the fastest tickets I've ever sold in my life, because people want you to go, don't they? And we didn't do them.
So there was no official farewell.
I wasn't even able to drive and say goodbye to anyone. I wasn't allowed drinks at my local boozer. I had to ring everyone up and just do goodbyes like that. It wasn't great. But you know, look what's going on all over the world.
know.
It wasn't about me, and
A lot of it was about you.
Well, it should be. And what it means is that when I go back to Australia, the welcome back shows will be enormous.
Well, let's talk about this, Dolly, because I've been on your social media, as I mentioned, and you announced, I'm leaving Australia, I'm going back to the UK. Some of the remarks, don't know whether you remember all of them. So somebody said of your returning to the UK, oh, so they let you back in? And then somebody else said, oh, great, she's gone.
Well, you know, that's what friends are for, isn't it? Yes, I mean, what do you do, you know? I mean, I'm glad you haven't got the names of whoever it was, because, you know, I can't.
It's mean. It's
Yeah.
mean.
Yes.
Mean. What are you missing most about Australia, Dolly?
Oh, nothing.
Oh, what?
No. Sorry.
Well, supposing this plays in Australia.
Well, we will. I'll share it.
You
Look, I'm not. I missed mates. But at the moment over there, it's not good. The vaccination levels are low. The government is to blame. I blame the Liberal government. We need that all up. They need to sort that out. And really what I want is for the mates that I love over there to be allowed out of Australia to come over and visit.
We're getting political now, Dolly.
Oh, I think
didn't
you've got to be a little
expect it.
political,
Yeah.
you know? I mean, not when people say, oh, I don't like politics, I'm not interested. Politics is life. Politics is the way you live your life. I don't know the ins and outs of absolutely everything about politics, but you've got to be involved. So for me, I want, I miss mates, I haven't been here that long. So if they were able to get over, even around Christmas or whatever, that would be wonderful.
Who knows what the future will bring?
Exactly.
But in the meantime, have you been double jabbed?
You're not allowed to leave unless you're double jabbed.
Thought as much.
Not allowed to even leave. You've got to have, that up your nose, that in your arm, and anywhere, anything else that's available. And so I'm fit as a butcher's dog. Yes, I love it.
Have you heard today's news? People of a certain age, not you, Dolly, but we're going to get a booster this month.
I love a booster, and I think I'll have it. I'll have it. Shove it in me.
You're just not old enough, Dolly. I'm sorry, you're going to have to wait for that shot.
Well, I'll have it when it's my turn.
Let me tell you something interesting, Dolly, and that is that a lot of people are going to be surprised to hear that you're a Brit because, obviously, you've got an Australian accent.
Well, yes, I've been living there a long while. And I think over there they think I'm British, and over here I'm Aussie. It doesn't matter to me. I think, whatever, as long as I'm happy. When I drink, I've got, it's even more different. Yes, it's some sort of, mix of everything, and
it's a bit half and half.
it is, yes.
I will tell you, the Australian accent is one of the easiest to pick up, and I have been there a couple of times, and it was within, I think, hours that I started talking like this,
Yes.
and going up at the end of each sentence.
Mine isn't that like that.
That was supposed to be an impression of you. No, it
Oh.
wasn't. No, I'm teasing
Now, a
you.
lot of people don't like the Aussie accent.
Oh, I've come round to it. I think it's really friendly.
It is, yes. Well, they are, whenever you meet an Aussie, wherever you are in the world, they're normally very friendly. They're normally a little bit drunk as well.
Happens,
but
yes.
yeah, that's what the British are much better at that, are they? Known all over the world for enjoying a tipple.
Telling me, especially at football matches. Did you know that there was an area of London back in the day called Kangaroo Valley?
I did not.
Oh,
No.
Why was it called that? Because it was full of Australians.
Well, it's now Earl's Court, isn't it?
It was Earl's Court.
Was it?
That's where they all lived.
Well, that makes
but they've all
sense.
gone back.
Yes.
There's no Aussies in Earl's Court anymore.
No, it's why you can get a job in a bar wherever you go now. You can get a job like that if you want one, can't you?
There's a lot of work available in the
Yes.
UK. I threatened this, Dolly, and we must deal with it. I want to talk about all your famous friends.
Yes.
There's so many. The one I'm fascinated by is somebody I haven't heard from him for ages. I don't even know if he's alive. He was big back in the day, but where is he now? His name, I've got to look at my notes because I've forgotten his name. Michael Dalton.
I choked.
Oh, you-
I choked on the bitterness. Yes, well, we get on. I know where he is. I know what he's doing. And, yes, he's around. Wherever I'm around, Michael's around, sniffing around. And I just prefer to live my life. And we live very, very separately. He doesn't work as much as I do, but we encourage each other, and it might not sound like that at the moment, but we do.
Was there ever, I'm getting very personal now, but was there ever anything between you two?
No,
Never?
no.
Why?
Well,
Why? Because he was quite good looking.
Well, thank you. I think you know, don't you, when you meet someone, whether it's going to work out or whether you're just going to be mates. And we decided we'd be mates.
Do you think he had any talent?
I do. Absolutely incredible.
Then, where did it all go wrong for him then?
If it went wrong, especially, you just realise after a while that it's time to let others enjoy the limelight.
Well, I've noticed for quite some years there's somebody else now sharing your limelight.
Yes.
It's a man called Luke Gallagher.
Gallagher, yes, Luke Gallagher. We are very good mates. We worked together over the years. That's the man that I want to be working with, you know, somebody who supports me in what I do.
How does he support you?
It's just, he listens, he doesn't interrupt, he's not funny, I can be funny, and he's there. That's all I need. You know what I mean?
Also quite good looking, I think.
Yes, oh, absolutely.
Nice to have around as a, you know, a trophy.
I don't mind the ugly ones because they work harder.
Well, that's true.
But he's absolutely delightful.
He's got quite a good voice.
Very, very good voice.
Is there any chance he can get out of Australia and join you here?
No, I don't think so. No.
Oh, too bad.
Yes.
What about another Australian, this one quite well known in the UK, had a TV series here. It's the very wonderful Bob Down.
Oh, listen, I'm one of those that I've always loved Bob Down. And just, you know, he knows comedy and living his best life at the moment over there.
How come?
You know, well, he's one of those that will always work. Always. It doesn't matter what's going on in the world. Bob will always work, and I admire that. I admire his work ethic.
Are you good mates?
We are. I love him. He's wonderful.
He's a very funny man as well.
Very.
Not unlike yourself, Dolly. Let's talk about somebody, a mutual friend now. We've had some larks down under with this man. It's Julian Clary. And look, I want to know, what is he really like? Come on.
It's the only little bit I went silent, wasn't it?
You can be honest.
Well, I mean, it's, you know, from the 90s I've known that man, and yeah, I mean, I love him, you know, I absolutely love him, and what can he be like? He can be like absolutely everybody else, the gamut of emotions, but deep down, and sometimes you've got to really dig deep, but absolutely delightful, and I love him. He also, he's one of the people in my life that really, really make me laugh.
Oh, also true.
And I love someone who makes me laugh, and because, you know, that's often what we spend our time doing. And I am lucky though, I've got some really good mates that make me laugh. And I realised a little while ago that I don't need to be on all the time. You know, you feel like when you're younger that you've got to be on all the time. Julian is definitely not on all the time. There, you know, he can be very quiet.
People are surprised.
Yes.
Serious.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. But when he's on, he's on, and when he wants to make you laugh, good luck. You know, you wet your knickers.
We've had some larks in Australia, haven't we?
No, and you know, like you, I love him and respect, you know, and it comes from knowing someone, knowing lots of their secrets. You know, we all know each other's secrets, but just shutting your mouth when you need to, and having a laugh. We enjoy a snowball over the years, absolutely delicious.
Of course.
You know, our cherries are long gone, but absolutely, yes, love him.
How did you meet? Was it in a public toilet?
It wasn't. Enough. No.
I read it on a wall.
No,
I think it was in St Kilda.
No, and it was at the comedy club in Melbourne, and Julian was about to do a gig. I think Sticky Moments was on in Britain, and it had only just begun over there.
It was a huge success in Oz, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Well, that's enough about Julian Clary.
Well, he's going to be on with you, isn't he?
Oh, you've spoilt the surprise.
Oh, no.
But forget what you just heard from Dolly Diamond. I'm going to make the official announcement of something or other not too long from now. First of all, Dolly, though,
1 week.
We want to know about your show. First of all, it's here at the Phoenix. You're here tonight.
Yes.
By the time this goes out, it will have been long gone, but you're coming back here on the 26th.
28th. The 8th.
28th of September back here.
Yeah.
And you're working with a new name to me, so tell us all about Ben Papworth.
Well, I mean, he's definitely not new to cabaret and theatre. An absolutely wonderful pianist.
No backing tracks for you.
No, and I wanted this time around to be doing venues like the Phoenix, like Above the Stag, and it's just this one sold really well, and they said, would you like to do another? And of course I'm like, yes, of course I would. And so it'll be nice to be back. I love this sort of intimate atmosphere that you get. I do go out into the audience, but I'm not mean to people. And
that's a matter of opinion.
Well, no, I mean, we just, you no need to tear them a new one, but you just get to have a laugh with everybody.
But let's get back to Ben Papworth, because he's quite presentable.
He's gorgeous, isn't he? And
where did you find him?
Well, I was recommended, and so you never know. But the moment he sat down at the piano and started playing, oh my God. Wonderful, absolutely wonderful. And I announced it. I said, you are brilliant, and thank goodness I found you.
So that's here at the Phoenix Arts Club in London's Charing Cross Road on September. Let's get the date right this time. It's September the 28th. Yes. But on September the 26th, 2 days earlier, and you can catch this one as well, you're doing another show at Above the Stag in Vauxhall.
Yes.
Okay, so is it the same show, or is it the brand new show?
It's new, yes.
How do you do it?
I'm not angry, just disappointed.
What's the meaning of that title?
Well, my mother used to say to me when I was young, and you always knew that emotional sort of, it was much, she never struck me or anything.
Thank goodness.
Although I deserved it. But when someone says to you, I'm not angry, I'm just disappointed. It really wounds you, doesn't it? That it's all about, it sounds a little miserable, but it's not, I promise. It's all about what it was like in lockdown in Melbourne, and I wrote a diary, and obviously it's very funny, and we've got lots of singing, and yeah.
But is there any tragedy in it?
Well, only the ticket sales at the moment. But no, not really. I mean, I like, my goal in life is back to that, is to make everybody laugh and enjoy their life. So that's what that'll be about.
We're looking forward enormously, and we're going to put the full details of both gigs on the YouTube page. Now, Dolly, we've got to wind up. I'm sorry, it flies, but I've learnt so much. I want more though. I want more. Do you think that strictly for Patreon subscribers, you could stick around and give them something special?
Why not?
Patreon subscribers, you'll know by now that you can join us, David McGillivray and Dolly Diamond, as soon as this show's finished. Come and join us. You'll find us waiting for you. But if you're not a subscriber, this is where the link comes up. There it is. It's so easy to become one of us. Dolly, renewed thanks.
No, I loved it.
It's lovely to have you back.
Really lovely to be back. And, I've not been here long, and already I've got this wonderful gig at the Phoenix. And they've been looking after me.
And it is a lovely venue. Come and visit. And next week, will you join me, David McGillivray, again, if you please? Because I know the cat is out of the bag, but oops. My guest next week it's Julian Clary.
Oh, this is not going to be as easy as this. I mean, we can be difficult. I remember being at the Edinburgh Festival. It had to be in the 90s, and interviewing him, and he made life difficult for me deliberately.
Now I'm getting nervous.
No, well, I mean, you're good at it. You're good at this.
Bless you. But he's got a book out. It's called The Lick of Love. He'll want to be plugging that.
Yes.
We go way back. It's 40 years, lovies, since we met, 1981, and we've been working together for 39 of those
Where did
years.
you meet?
Where did we meet? You're going to have to watch next week
I knew it.
to find out. Me dearios, will you join me then? And please, we're going to have such fun. Until then, from my guest Dolly and me, David McGillivray, it's mwah.
Thanks.
Bye.